you can't just be a musician. Not quite so aggressive.
Yeah,
Maybe assertive tech?
Assertive tech, yeah.
And there's literally an error in the spelling of errors to sort of help, really, I don't know, drive that metaphor home.
Yeah, which is intrinsically imperfect.
Because perfect can get in the way of actually doing something in the first place. We're not just putting out Warhammer memes.
We're not just putting, I mean...
which I do in my spare time. Like, there's this constant kind of negative voice out in the world that will tell you that your production's not right, or that your musicianship isn't quite on point, or that you're writing in the wrong key for the tone, or anything really.
It's why filters exist on pitches, isn't it?
Cool. Okay.
Is that one?
That one's it's been going the whole time. Tasty. Oh, the dad noise.
That is the noise of our age.
Absolutely, it is.
So, do you want to tell everybody where we are?
Absolutely. So, we are in a cemetery. Nothing says.
Well, it is just after World Goth Day.
Yes, yeah, that is true. Yeah, I was just going to say. Hang on, I'm rustling stuff. Let me get these out. There we go. Make sure they don't blow away. So
that's very kind.
So it was World Goth Day yesterday. So yeah, being in a cemetery, we thought that was a really lovely way to celebrate
World Goth Day.
Yeah, so it means that this will come out a little bit later, but
people will get it still.
Yeah,
I think.
Absolutely. So we're in Lancaster Cemetery, which is absolutely beautiful. And
there's loads of cemeteries here, though.
That's true.
Everyone is old.
Let me just.
Oh. Nice.
Oh, that's going to ASMR people. Hang on. Yeah.
You're like a sommelier of slurm.
Yeah.
A slurmalier.
Ooh.
That's nice.
There
I
we
can't
go.
remember, what's that called where you smush words together?
A portmanteau.
Nice. You're a slurmalio.
Slurmalio.
Well, thank you ever so much, sir.
Enjoy. What a beautiful evening to sit and chat about stuff. What is on the agenda this evening, sir?
So we have an interview from a Portuguese magazine.
Nice.
That's my best Portuguese accent.
Yeah.
It's not great.
I knew that would come up.
Yeah.
And whilst I think both of us do have a crack at different languages, Portuguese is not one that
No. But the beautiful people of Portugal, not all of them, but some of them were kind enough to ask us some questiones. Now, for people within the goth scene, they may well read interviews and articles and things like that from magazines, and sometimes they are indeed times where people have sat down together and chatted, maybe like after a show. I know that we've done some with Cypherdown after shows, but sometimes, like, it would have been beautiful to be flown over to Portugal, but stuff like that's just not on the cards. So this, what broadly happens is you get sent the questions by email and then you respond to them.
Yeah.
So that is what we're doing. But we thought it'd be really nice, didn't we, to like record an honest response, because we haven't read them. You were kind enough to print them out because you're the more organised of the two.
Yeah.
So shall we start?
Well, yeah, I think we should. But I've got a question for you first, which is, I mean, this is HINTF Magazine.
I think that pronunciation's accurate.
HINTF Web Magazine. And thank you very much to Miguel Ibero.
I like what you did with the R there.
You're welcome.
From our experience of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Exactly. Yeah. So hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, Miguel. First of all, I guess, like, I was going to ask you, how have we ended up interviewed by HINTF Magazine with lovely Miguel Ibero?
So I follow a band called Reliquia, which that's a goth name, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a very cool name.
Yeah, it's like, because there's a word, isn't there, for like the different degrees of shadow, like the dense shadow moving away, and I can't remember what that word is. I don't think that word is Reliquia, but it's got a tonal similarity, I think, to that, whatever that word is.
I couldn't tell you what that word is.
I don't know what that word. Well, I know that word exists. I just don't know what it is. But the word Reliquia has a sort of, you would say it whilst in a robe.
Yeah, it's got a certain kind of lyricism to it.
It does.
And
Their stuff, though, if people don't follow Reliquia, they should. It's really interesting. They've got like a new wavy, punky, alt-rocky vibe.
Cool.
And I read an interview that Reliquia did with HINTF Magazine. And so I reached out to them and said, hey, by the way, we're also a band.
Nice. Which we are.
I refused to lie. And I said, maybe we could do something similar. And they were like, oh, yeah, that's brilliant. So I sent them some of our stuff and they said, yeah, absolutely, we'll get that done.
Nice.
And they sent us the questions. That's how we ended up here.
Beautiful. That's really, really cool, man. Well, hello to all you beautiful Portuguese people. Let's get into it. This will be fantastic. So the first question is, thank you very much for this interview.
Are you going to be Miguel?
Yeah, I was
context
thinking.
of this?
I was thinking that I would probably, because I know you've already said that we haven't read the questions. I have. I mean, it's hard to print them out without having a little sneaky peek. So I have done. So actually, I thought maybe the format could more be, I ask you the questions, and then you and I answer them together.
Love that.
So please tell us how it all began. And by it, I'm assuming that means errors.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
We've talked about that in previous videos, haven't we?
We have.
A desire to make music, manifest. It's a short way of describing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I think I've talked about a lot of my influences in previous videos. Like, what sort of prompted you to want to do that?
That is a great way to elaborate on this question. So, how did it all begin as a start point? Like you said, we've chatted about that before, and that's all to do with, like, you and I, we've been friends for a really long time, a good sort of 20-something years now, 25 or something like that. And we've made music in various forms together previously. And you have always, as far as I can remember, been really passionate about electronic music. And I guess the short answer is that that's just rubbed off on me. We've just managed to kind of find a way to work together really well. And we bounce ideas off each other and styles. And I guess that's just kind of brought me into a whole world of electronic music that previously I was a little bit sort of ignorant to, I suppose. There's a real sort of different process to creating that type of music. So like, because I'm being a drummer primarily, that's another thing we've talked about a lot in these podcasts. But the very sort of different way of working with developing drums and rhythms and stuff. I guess previously I was probably a little bit ignorant to the way that electronic music might use drums, and almost kind of, I guess, seeing it in an almost sort of adversarial way of like replacing drummers rather than just like allowing drummers to express rhythms in different ways, because it certainly does. And if anything, it takes a lot of the pressure away to find hours of studio time to produce drum tracks versus working with a more kind of efficient workflow.
I think as well, when this we were sort of pitching around ideas and things like this, it sort of evolved naturally from other stuff that we were doing that sort of just kept ending up sounding like what I would call an industrial rock sort of tone. So when we were doing like more rocky style music, like a lot of what I write lyrically and melodically, I think a lot of that sort of leans in that direction anyway. So it felt like a bit of a natural.
Yeah. And I guess like if I'm kind of leaning more towards the fact that like it's about our working relationship and our kind of workflow as creatives, I suppose, musicians, that like, I don't want to do a disservice to the fact that actually we love the music that we make. Yeah. Definitely. We're creating music that we really believe in and that we're really excited to start playing live. And it's also really exciting to see people be interested in it as well. Like you put art out into the world and to have really nice feedback from people. Like Bite, for example, that's on our YouTube. Yes. Whilst we're not hitting massive views yet, that's had some really nice responses from people, which is great. And at the level that we're at now, if you get a nice response from half a dozen people, like, it's beautiful.
Take that every day.
Absolutely.
So I think that was a lovely answer to the first question.
Yeah, nice one, man.
Yeah.
So next question, if you're ready. Errors. Is there a special reason for that name?
I think naming projects, I think it's equally the most fun part of being in a band. Like it's downhill for everything else afterwards, isn't it? But then I think it's also like one of the most difficult parts of being a project, because it's sort of it's gonna be everything, and you've got to. There's a pressure that comes with a name.
I was just going to talk about pressure.
It's that like if we were called like Rage of War, right? There's the sort of tone that you would expect from a band called Rage of War.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like when we talked about Judas Priest, another band, because I was listening to them the other day, I say listening to them, they came up and I skipped past them. But as a name, they're really, really solid. Faith No More. I think it's a brilliant name. It's a brilliant name.
Yeah, that's come up before in these conversations. So yeah, there's a lot of pressure involved in choosing a name for your band, but also I think like you've got to get past that pressure and realise that like when you first name a band something, the name doesn't really mean anything, and there's that pressure. This is my perspective anyway. That like there's a lot of pressure to make it really cool, but then if you actually look at band names like. I mean, arguably Megadeth isn't a very cool name anyway, but when...
Really?
Megadeth. Which is cooler, Megadeth or Metallica? As a name for a metal band. Maybe Megadeth's cooler, actually. I don't know. But
I think any time you put the genre of music that you're going to play into the name...
Well, check out Eagles of Death Metal, because they are not death metal whatsoever. No. So you've got to get past the idea that, like, actually... You're calling yourself something now for it to mean something later and establish itself.
But you've got to stand behind it as well, though, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I think because they're like, I'm listening to another band at the minute called The Joy Formidable.
Oh,
right. Which are like, I think I've heard of that. I think they're from the 90s. They sound a bit like Yeah Yeah Yeahs.
Right. Oh, cool. I like Yeah Yeahs.
Yeah. And I think like Sonic Youth, like there are some names that just sort of have that bit of pizzazz, even if you don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
Like the name carries a bit of something.
Iconic.
And I think, so you don't want it to be like overly long, like the Eagles of Death Metal. They can only get away with it because they're sick, right?
Yeah.
But if you have like a really, really, really long name, it's almost too much. And then like some of the band names that I really like now that I didn't like at the start, like Author and Punisher, like I didn't get it at all. But now I'm like, well, that's exactly the sound, isn't it? Which I think is what you're saying.
Yeah,
is that
definitely.
Right?
Yeah, that like it, like meaning kind of comes after the naming.
Yeah.
But that being said, we did choose ERRORS for a particular reason, didn't we?
We did. We did as well.
There's literally an error in the spelling of ERRORS to sort of help. Really, I don't know, drive that metaphor home.
Yeah, like,
make sure it's not lost on anyone.
On the nose.
But I mean, we were trying to be not too on the nose. Yeah. That, we didn't want to just be the Gothic McGoth, the Gothic McGoth band.
The Gothic McIndustrials.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So ERRORS is supposed to represent the fact that like we are interested in creating work that has an authenticity in it, that isn't...
Which is intrinsically imperfect.
Yeah, we've always wanted to kind of embrace our own flaws. I guess you can kind of extrapolate that into who we are as people as well. That like everybody and everything is fundamentally flawed. And I think that especially these days with like social media, there's a lot of pressure for people to put stuff out that is perfect. Because if it isn't, and even at times when it is, people will be very negative about it. So like there's this constant kind of negative voice out in the world that will tell you that your production's not right, or that your musicianship isn't quite on point, or that you're writing in the wrong key for the tone, or anything really.
It's why filters exist on pitches, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. So, or like kind of, you said in one of these episodes that we're too old to rebel against anything, and that's absolutely true. However, we do have a certain kind of like, we're quite well matched on our life philosophy of, embracing things that are imperfect and wanting to like put our music out into the world that doesn't have to be perfect, because perfect can get in the way of actually doing something in the first place. And I guess that's what ERRORS means to us. Whilst also hopefully, like you've always said to me about band names, you've got to be able to be in a busy pub a noisy like club or whatever, and if someone says to you, "Oh, what's the name of your band?" You don't want people going.
You don't have to
"What?"
repeat it 3 times.
What?
Yeah.
It's what? So errors.
Errors.
is cool. I think.
I think
it's cool
think
for
so.
that reason.
I think it sort of works with our music as well.
Yeah, I stand by errors, to be honest, as a band name, even though obviously we are going to be inherently biased. But yeah, I think that like, I'm super pleased with that. We went through a lot of deliberation over it. We got there eventually.
We did.
Next question,
Go,
sir.
hit me. I'm not going to read it.
I think next, hang on, let me double check where the folder is. So yeah, what influences your music and lyrics?
Interesting. I don't want to wax continually about Nine Inch Nails, which is also a fun little reference back to Wax Trax. If anyone's well, people will be familiar with a label called Wax Trax from like the 90s, I think it was, which was like the origin of like I think Skinny Puppy and Throbbing Gristle and stuff. So I'm not going to talk about Nine Inch Nails, although they are the heaviest influence that I have.
Yeah, heaviest as in like the most prominent, as opposed to the heaviest music.
Yeah, but what I am
Yeah, people can enjoy that.
What I am going to talk about though is I'm going to talk about stuff that's influencing me now.
Yeah.
And then if I pass the mic over to you.
Yeah.
So stuff that's influencing me now is a variety of things. I am super interested in, I say interested in, that's doing a disservice. I'm a colossal fan of King Ysef.
Oh, cool, okay.
And I am listening to King Ysef just on loop. His latest record, Spire of Fear. I know that I've talked about King Ysef before, but not to this degree. Spire of Fear, he is touring all over the place and he's doing really, really well. So he's toured with Youth Code. He's sort of midway, I think, through touring with Author and Punisher. And then later this year, he is touring Australia with Health.
Oh, nice.
Which is just mega. He's doing so well. And from enjoying Spire of Fear so much, I've started listening to his back catalogue. Underlying Hum, I think, was the previous one from 3 years ago. And Underlying Hum is just glorious. It is glorious. But there's one song in particular on Spire of Fear called Walter, which I really, really like.
Cool.
And I watched some of his, because he's not like prolific, like putting stuff out on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I watched some of the videos of the production, and the song Walter has lots of snippets of recordings from his granddad, I think, who recorded violins and sent it as a gift to his family. And I think his granddad might have passed away, I don't know. But I think he has done. But he's sort of put that into the music, and it's a stunning piece of work. Is that
cool?
Called Walter by King Ysef. Yeah,
nice.
Which is so I'm listening to loads and loads of that, and another band that I'm listening to, like I'm circling around the same bands here, Author and Punisher. I'm listening to loads and loads of Author and Punisher, and his latest album is called Nocturnal Birdings, or something like that.
Cool.
Which sounds weird, but it's like a concept album. Oh, I think.
I bet that's probably. I bet they're few and far between.
I imagine so, but you're going to love the concept, and especially where we are. And sort of the bird song in the background. I think what he's done is I think he's sampled bird song. And then used those bird songs to produce the melodies for each of his tracks. So there's like a song called Thrush, which I think is the song of a thrush. How amazing is that?
That is amazing. Very, very cool.
There you go.
I can only think of one other concept album that has birdsong on it, and that is one of the Mars Volta albums, and that'll be Francis the Mute. And I think it's on the album version of The Widow. Is it Widow? Yeah, The Widow. Yeah, I'm sure it's in that one. I'll have to. Have you noticed
the true or false?
I was just going to say, when I make these videos, and just put either the true stamp on, or we got a false stamp, and that was all about Limp Bizkit and which movie Behind Blue Eyes was for. Just like some like obscure Halle Berry movie, Gothica, that I don't think anybody would really remember, but hey ho. Nice, man. Nice range of.
So they are my current influences.
Cool.
How about you?
Ooh, that is a great question. So I guess we've got to be careful that we don't just keep name dropping the same bands, because we do that a lot. But that's because turns out I absolutely love Youth Code. Since seeing them live, they're just phenomenal. So in terms of like electronic music, yeah,
And they're supporting Korn now.
Korn, and who else is on that bill? Is it Architects? Korn and Architects.
Architects used to be Ace.
Yeah.
Around the time of Hollow Crown, that was their...
Yeah.
Before they turned into just like Bring Me the Horizon. Are they from the same place?
Maybe. They're British, aren't they? So, yeah.
So, well,
somewhere
I suppose
down
if we
south,
expand
somewhere.
it far enough.
Yeah.
But
we're all from the planet Earth.
I think Bring Me the Horizon from Sheffield, though. I think.
They're from Sheffield?
I think so.
Wait, I just assumed somewhere down south, but hey-ho. So for me, definitely Youth Code. I mean, like you said, yeah, we're both big Nine Inch Nails fans. In terms of like drummers then,
That's a nice
yeah. So my like some of my favourite drummers, definitely John Theodore. There's an
what
episode.
Band is he in?
Oh, sorry, right. So John Theodore used to play for the Mars Volta, but now he plays with Queens of the Stone Age.
Oh, nice.
And he's just a phenomenally technical and like capable drummer, both capable in the studio and live. He can be really like kind of flowy and fluid and intricate, but he can also be really like iconic as well and just put something out that is relatively simple, but it stays in your head. And I think that style lends itself really well to like electronic music because I think for the most part, people aren't listening to electronic music because they want loads of like overly sort of technical drumming where you've got loads of like ghost notes and rudiments and stuff. Like the drum fills are fairly like few and far between, aren't they? And the ones that you do get have to be more kind of direct and much more like the style of drumming.
Like musical drumming, if that's such a thing.
I guess so. Or more just kind of like
can you hum it?
Oh yes, yeah, that's what. Yeah, so I'd use the word iconic, as in like exactly that. Yeah, like Dave Grohl style drumming. Now he's not always regarded as the best drummer. A lot of drummers will kind of like kick back against him and it's like, oh, he's not a particularly technical drummer, which in a lot of ways is true. Like he is not about to start licking loads of like jazz chops and that sort of thing. But you can hum every single one of his drum beats, and I think that is the type of thing that I keep in mind when like we're thinking about like drums and rhythms and stuff for our stuff, and like trying to think about like, well, what would a drummer like John Theodore do with this, or what would a drummer like Dave Grohl do, or things like the, I guess from electronic music, like the drum beat from Teardrop by Massive Attack. Dun dun da, dun dun.
Classic.
Da. It is classic, and I guess we're now verging on peep show territory of like, don't like Jaws. I want Jaws. Don't just write not Jaws.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to write? Not Jaws? Yeah, yes. Jaws, but not Jaws. You know, something iconic like that. But yeah, that's the whole point, isn't it? Like, you've got to be able to listen to something, and you're not thinking about like, oh wow, that's so confusing because they're flowing in amongst all this like weird drum chop stuff. It's got to be something that either you can dance to, or that like, yeah.
But it's got to work with the song as well, doesn't it?
Well, there is that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's another one of Dave Grohl's strengths. Yeah, he plays for the song. Interestingly, one of my favourite. Like,
is this going to get a true or a false stamp?
It's going to get a true stamp.
Go.
A true stamp. So, in my opinion, one of the most underrated drummers would be what's his name? Vinny someone or other Jr. I think his name is, the chap from The Killers. Am I getting bogus on me?
No. The chap from yeah. I know the guy from The Killers. I don't know his name either.
No, I've just completely lost his name now. He's such a cool pocket drummer. Like, I've never seen any drum solos by him, but everything he does, like he really kind of like his thing is play for the song, and that's exactly what you need, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I think that's a solid answer.
Cool, man. So, what have we got next? What type of band / genre of music is ERRRORS?
Well, I suppose that depends who you ask.
It's true, yeah. So we've got some controversy with that already.
Because I think that we're an industrial band. Mm-hmm. But people would listen to Front 242 and go, they're an industrial band. Mm-hmm. But they'd also listen to Three Teeth, and maybe they're an industrial band, or maybe My Life with a Thrill Kill Cult, maybe they're an industrial band.
Yeah.
I don't know. But speaking of names that are potentially too long, circling back to that.
Also, well, I mean, I was going to circle back to one of the other questions, which is like our influences. And actually, I think the nature of like the genre and that question, are we an industrial band, I think stems from the fact that like you choose to deliver a melodic vocal and not a harsh, like screamed vocal.
Yeah.
Because a lot of industrial these days is like heavy musically, but also heavy vocally. And the fact that we have melodic vocals potentially has an impact on how people receive it, and whether or not it's received as industrial or one of the other sort of broader
the
like
sub-genres.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, exactly.
alternative electronic? Would we be like, I mean, it's a broad brush, is that, isn't it?
Yeah, because you and I have also like kind of discussed like, is it EBM? And like, in the broadest of sense, probably like
say probably
little
not.
bit. Well,
occasionally.
Like it has elements of it.
Yeah, depending on the song. Because so, like some of our songs, they're more driven by like live drums, and some of our songs are more driven by drum machine.
Yeah.
And I think just the very nature of like where the drums come from, that would sort of place us in one pocket or another pocket.
Does that mean that we get to describe ourselves as sort of genre fluid, which is quite a popular thing for bands to... I think so, and I don't think people are always being a little bit sort of tongue-in-cheek because of like the term gender fluid. I think that being genre fluid, I might be being naive here,
I would say are not all bands genre fluid?
No, I don't think so, because I mean, like, there's some bands that have, like Megadeth have done the same thing.
I mean, they've done the same riff
30 years, yeah,
for 40
exactly.
years, yeah.
So like, that's literally one of the things that James Hetfield takes the piss for as well, which I think is hilarious. I've seen like reels of James Hetfield listening to the new Megadeth album, and he's just like, done the same thing.
He's done the same thing again. But everybody loves it. There's something nice about familiarity, isn't there?
Yeah, Alkaline Trio are another one. I love Alkaline Trio,
and it doesn't matter what you put on.
For the most part, they have been writing the same album for a long time. And they're not going to see this, but if they do, like, I love you guys, but like,
that's their logo, isn't it? With the...
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But just before we came out, I read a thing about. There's some sort of a lawsuit about like, because there's only so many notes and there's only so many rhythms, isn't there? And there was somebody arguing.
Ed Sheeran.
There is the Ed Sheeran, but it was a metal guy. I can't remember who it was, but he was actually stood the other way around, and other people were saying, "Oh, this guy they've ripped off you, like with this riff," and he's like, "No, they're all just broadly the same, aren't they?"
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah. Yeah. Perhaps it's the Megadeth guitarist.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, what genre are we? I think, broadly alternative electronic music, and then like it's still fairly early days as well, isn't it? Like we've not actually put out an album yet.
No.
So I guess that gets onto one of the next question, next question actually. Yeah. Is it possible to know more about your discography? So I guess like answering that question of what genre of music we are, and we're at risk of becoming incredibly self-indulgent here with our answers to these questions. What? How can we define our genre? But I guess like we're still figuring that out.
Yeah.
Like our discography is individual songs released online for free. Luckily, fortunately, some people have been buying them from Bandcamp as well, which is really cool.
Nice.
But they're everything's available on YouTube for free as well. So our discography is a series of individual tracks that I think, to my ear, like sonically, they all go well together. The remixes stand out as being kind of like texturally and sonically a little different, but certainly the actual like ERRRRORS original stuff all fits together. So it could be released as an album, but it's been a conscious decision for us for the meantime to have a kind of steady stream of music being released that allows us to offer something every week, rather than just one album and then kind of figuring out what we do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, figuring out what we do in the meantime. So I think like you're really interested in like kind of industrial techno as well.
I do like a bit of industrial techno, and I think yeah, you've hit the nail on the head in that it's tied together in the same question. You're dead right, because some of our tracks, like when people hear songs like Sickness, where like that's 160 BPM, 4 to the floor ish.
So that's not out yet.
Yeah. But when that does, that is very much what I would describe as industrial techno. But I might be wrong about that as well. I don't.
It's the sort of song, you could be dancing to that at 3 in the morning.
More club focused.
Absolutely. I think interestingly, right, so you were saying to me like, right, I'm getting super into industrial techno, like strap yourself in, because the next songs are going to be like absolute bangers, like bass drums that are going to push you through the wall, you know. And then you sent me Sickness, and then shortly after you've sent me another one, which is Fragile Things, which is like the exact opposite end of our kind of spectrum.
I'm gonna lean on King Ysef's genre, which is Bleak House.
Oh, ooh,
I know,
nice.
I know, right? I know.
Which that's a novel by. Oh, the same chap, Charles Dickens.
Is it really?
Yeah, Bleak House. Yeah.
Well, there you go. I wonder if that's where he got it from.
Probably. Yeah.
But yes, So we do definitely have an industrial techno track.
Yeah, nice. And there's going to be more.
And there'll be more. Yeah.
Because like we've got a solid catalogue of music that is ready to be released with plenty of remixes coming in as well.
Loads of
like
remixes.
there's remixes that are like in the data bank, ready. Data bank?
I don't know.
Where did that come from?
They're
on the hard drive.
They are on the
ready
hard drive.
to go.
Yeah.
They're
on the data bank.
they're in the data bank, whatever that means. I think I might have accidentally just turned into is it Boris from GoldenEye? Is it Boris? the IT guy who ends up dying.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, so we've got remixes up and ready to go.
We do.
From Jim Davies from the Prodigy.
We do.
Pitch Shifter and Pig. I didn't realise he was.
Yes, he's in Pig.
Which is, I mean, like I think that just sounds amazing, and what a dude to deliver on that.
Yes.
We've also got remixes coming soon from Palindrones,
Love
which
that.
are exquisite.
I think they describe themselves as dream pop.
Oh, I can see why.
Yeah, I know.
Totally get that. We have also got a remix
Alter.
from Alter.
People may like Alter's quite like an underground project. I think people will probably know the band Dissector,
right?
Who Edwin was in before he started the project Alter.
Cool.
So and another like guy that's been in and around for a long time. Oh,
and Cycle.
That was really interesting actually. The Cycle one, because that is that maybe in just like, oh no, what would I describe it as? What would I describe as? Agritech?
Yeah, I think
like an agritech, but without the harsh vocal.
Yeah, exactly. Which is coming back to what I was saying before, doesn't it? Really,
like passive tech.
Yeah,
passive tech.
Nice. Not quite so aggressive.
Yeah,
maybe assertive tech.
Assertive tech. Yeah, because it's like it's serious, but not too much.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're going to be ace, and I think that like that reflects our sort of just willingness to embrace loads of different styles and to want to be involved in the kind of the whole scene within the UK and beyond.
We did a remix as well, though, didn't we?
Yes.
Have we done one or two?
Definitely one so far for Palindrones. That'll be coming out.
Yes.
And we've hopefully, we've got something in the cards with Tokyo Taboo.
We do.
And Tokyo Taboo are amazing. They are such a cool band. And like, if they don't blow up with this new album coming out soon, I will be very surprised, because like everything they're doing.
They have their own thing, don't they?
Definitely.
I like that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of their whole thing, isn't it? Just to like, we're out here doing our thing, and it's really cool.
Have we even vaguely answered the question? What was the question that we
were answering? Is it possible to know more about your discography?
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah,
we've answered that.
It's on the data bank.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure there's this like iconic line I'm forgetting from GoldenEye, just before he dies or something.
From GoldenEye?
Yeah.
Like GoldenEye.
As in James
The
Bond?
James Bond.
Yeah.
James
Yeah.
Bond's got... I don't know if there's anything iconic about James
Oh,
Bond's
there definitely is.
other than the game.
You know I'll be finding it when I edit this shit together. Please define errors in only one word.
Ooh.
I'm going to say duo. No band ever wants to be called a duo.
We are a duo.
But we are a duo.
And you know what? I think that does it.
Yeah.
I'm going to lean into that.
Absolutely.
Duo.
Yeah. Because, I remember, so some mates of ours a little while ago were in like a kind of a two-piece, like Black Keysy type thing. I remember one of them having a bit of a complaint about someone calling him a duo. It was like a music promoter. All right, lads. He was doing this. All right, lads, yeah, we're seeing a lot of duos these days, apparently so. Yeah, that was the impression he did at the time. Okay. And he was quite offended. He's like, we're a band, we're not a duo. So I think we lean into it. Yeah. We're definitely going to be referred to as a duo.
And it's accurate.
Oh, there's
and I'm all about that.
One, two of us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Duo.
What are your plans for the future?
Well, we are going to keep making music. Because it's like it's one of those things, isn't it, where you start a project and people can sometimes get into it, and projects sometimes just sort of fizzle out. Yeah. Which is a shame. But I think I think this feels like it's something that we're in for the long haul, you know? The obvious next step, because we do have a colossal data bank of...
We do indeed.
Data bank of songs to come out. And so we've got like comfortably over an hour, I would say, of material that we could drop on people. So the obvious next step is some live gigs. Now, we are, at the time of recording, we don't have... Oh, you're a superstar, thank you. At the time of recording, we don't have anything concrete set up. But there is irons in the fire. There is indeed. And there's also an ant in your slurm. You know what? That's protein. Yeah. Although he can go over there. So I would say write more music, play some shows. Yeah, that's basically it, isn't it? So I think we are wanting to book shows from kind of early 2027. So then we've got a nice lead in with our kind of release strategy of releasing stuff like these videos and music every week, giving people the opportunity to either follow us along, which some people are, which is amazing. So thank you very much to everybody for doing that. But also, as we then start showing up on festival bills and gigs, that sort of thing, then we've got a whole back catalogue for people to dive into. They can get to know us a little bit. They know who it is they're going to see on stage, rather than That's the most frustrating thing, isn't it? Yeah. Like when you go to a show, you see a band, you think, these guys are sick. I mean, hopefully people will think that we're ace. I think that we're ace. People will think, wow, these guys are great. And then it's like, I can't find them online because there's nothing there. So hopefully by the time that we're there, there's like lots and lots of music for them to dive back through. And we're going to do some I think we've talked about this, or I might have thought about this, and I was going to have we can have the conversation now. Do it. About doing some acoustic versions of our songs. Did we talk about that? Yeah, that would be cool. In fact, I was quite tempted to bring a few things this evening, but I thought it'd be a bit too much while we're recording. This is the right place, though.
Perfect. Yeah, it'd be great to have acoustic guitar.
Let's do that. Let's do that here.
Battery-powered synth. Yeah. Record some stuff here. I was thinking exactly that. That'd be cool, man. No, I'm totally into that. That sounds great. And we've tried to sort of we're both in our 40s. So we've both been in bands where we've gone with a more sort of traditional, grind it out, gig sort of approach to getting ourselves out there. And we've tried to switch our mindset to a more 21st century way of doing things.
Check us out.
We are trying to embrace regular release of music and other online stuff for people to engage with and to get to know us, as well as then, using that as a lead-in to booking some gigs. So then, so that we show up in searches, basically. That's it, isn't it? That's a huge challenge for musicians these days. You can't just be a musician anymore. No. Outtakes coming up. Daddy. So Oh, this is a good one. Imagine
Go.
you could be an animal. What would it be and why?
Well, that's out of left field, isn't it?
It is indeed.
An animal. I mean, I already know mine. So.
I know mine as well.
Oh, well.
Like, well before I read this question.
Yeah. That's just a thing in our
house. Hit me
house.
with yours. Yeah. No.
Bear.
Oh, of course
I would obviously be a bear. Yeah. Like I think quite a friendly bear.
Yeah.
Not like
a baloo.
Yeah. No. Well, not like a sun bear because they just look.
Oh, I love that you
mental.
know that he's a sun bear.
Of course, I know he's a sun bear.
Oh,
more like
mate.
a Paddington bear.
Oh.
Sun bears actually look like people dressed in bear costumes, and that sort of freaks me out.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, so I'd be like a Paddington bear, just like really well mannered, like. Oh, it's nice to be in London. That's not how he sounds. Wait, let me do a good Paddington bear. Oh, no, that's the same voice.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
But I have seen pictures of you meeting red pandas, and I know that's obviously a different type of bear, but that was
the
one of
cutest thing in the world.
And seeing you meet them was one of the cutest
I was
things I've
eyes
seen.
wide.
I would like to be a house cat. I would love
They
to be a house
are
cat.
living the life.
Oh, are they ever? My cat, she rocks up, does whatever she wants, sleeps on one of the beds all day, goes out raking around the fields, comes home and gets fed, sleeps some more.
Sounds all right. Sign me up.
Perfect, absolutely perfect. Yep, being a house cat, I think, like, if there's any sort of reincarnation, that's what I'm into.
I wonder if this is a question that they have asked lots of other people. And I wonder if like people have given like really like thoughtful answers like, oh, I would be a nightingale so that I can still make music.
Oh,
which is it's a great, well thought out answer.
Yeah, if only we were brighter.
Yeah. It's there, it just takes a little while.
You got there, yeah, you got there.
I think that's because I'm listening to all that, like, nocturnal
Yeah.
birding.
That sounds cool, man. There's a couple more though.
Oh.
No, we're on to the last one.
Is it animal based?
It isn't. It
Shame.
says, please leave a final message for your fans and HINTF readers.
And a hint.
HINTF readers.
A final message. I don't know. It's like, I'm really grateful because you and I would be making music anyway. So it's really nice that we can put music out that people are listening to and letting us know that they're enjoying. Yeah. So thank you, I suppose, is
definitely
my message.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say pretty much exactly the same thing, really, that like being really grateful for anyone who's taken the time to like subscribe, listen, comment, ring the bell, all that sort of stuff. But like, no, I'm not saying thank you in a superficial way there, because like you've said, like it's always really touching when people actually kind of take the time to listen to something that you've put your heart and soul into. We're not just putting out memes. We're not just putting out Warhammer memes.
We're not just putting, I mean...
which I do in my spare time.
That's low-hanging fruit,
yeah,
it seems.
It does seem so. But yeah, there's thought and effort and passion that's gone into every one of these videos, every song that we create, and in the future, our live show that like, I mean, we do play live regularly. We play live together on a kind of, on a different sort of scale. Different in a different scene and genre of music. We play together almost every week, don't we? So like we're well attuned to what it is to play live, but bringing this music I think is going to be extra special. Yeah. And we're both really excited for that. So yeah, just like a massive thanks, and I guess in a more sort of like future sort of way, not only thanks for what you're doing, but also if you haven't listened to us yet, please check us out on YouTube, check us out on Facebook. We'll put all the links below. Have a listen to some stuff. You can dip in and out of all the tracks. They're all there for you. If there's anything you like, then yeah, purchase it off Bandcamp as well. That'd be great, because every single listen, every single bit of engagement just helps us continue to do what we do. Let me try it again.
It's meaningful, isn't it?
Yeah, every bit of engagement there, every listen, every purchase, whatever, helps us to keep doing what we do.
Yeah. No, I love that. And thank you to Miguel.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
For putting that together, because he didn't have to, did he?
No, not at all.
Must have been a slow news week.
Must be, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
But also, if there are any other magazines that want to ask us animal-based questions, non-animal-based questions.
Yeah, anything about the music, anything about your beautiful hair.
Oh, well, I did have a haircut today. So thank you for that. You haven't, but you're doing something different with it.
I am indeed. Yep, I've gone for, I think it's referred to as like the millennial flip or flick. where you like flick it over to the opposite side to what you usually do, and you get this sort of like root boosty type thing going on.
Love it.
You see that when I had long hair, but cut that off a long time ago.
Love it.
I've become one of those 40-year-old men who says, "Oh, I used to have long hair, you know. I used to have long hair."
Back in the day, I was way more muscular and fitter
yeah,
back in the
exactly.
day.
Oh, yeah, I used to.
There's no pictures like.
Yeah, I used to have a six-pack like you when I was in my 20s. It happens to us all. It catches up with all of us in the
broad
end.
Yorkshire there.
Right. Right, thank you ever so much for watching.
Thank
It's been
you.
a pleasure. Mwah. Ciao for now.
Ciao for now.